It's a Playboy affair.
The NFL is back, and so is over $500,000 in prize money with MyBookie.ag. MyBookie has live in-game betting for all the NFL games this weekend and prop bets such as the over/under for fantasy points on your favorite player. Make sure to check out the MyBookie Super Contest. It costs $10 to enter, and you get to pick 5 games against the spread. And for each game you get right, you get closer to the grand prize. Use promo code FLY and receive an 100% match on your first deposit up to $1,000. That's promo code FLY to double your money and double your winnings with your first ever deposit at mybookie.ag. So in honor of that super contest, I am going to give you my 5 fly picks for week 2 of the NFL season. Week 1 was rough for me. I took a lot of L's, but we're going to get that all back here in week 2. Now, week 1, the first game I want to talk about is the Falcons versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am going to tell you, take the Falcons with the points. The spread on MyBookie is the Tampa being favored by 12.5 points at minus 110 odds. Tampa will obviously win this game, but I don't think the Atlanta offense will be that anemic for the second week in a row, especially after they brought over that coordinator from the Titans this season. Tampa will get up big, obviously, but Tampa will then relax some, and then the Falcons will rally back and make the game look a lot closer than it ever was at any point in the game. And if they get too close, we know Tom Brady will always put them right back down. I feel like we might have even seen this game last season. Tampa will get up big early, and the Falcons will close the gap. And I am super confident about this because Tampa's defense has one glaring weakness, and that's in the secondary. That means when they start playing a little bit more prevent, I expect Matt Ryan to be able to eat significantly. I'm saying Tampa by 10. My next game is the Chiefs versus the Ravens. The Chiefs are favored at minus 3.5 and minus 110 odds. That's a line that I wouldn't mind taking, but what I am more interested in for this game is the over-under at 55 at the same odds at minus 110. That line is way better in this situation, and I'm way more comfortable taking it. The one thing that we know about Kansas City is if you have any chance of being competitive with Kansas City, you have to put points up on the board. If you have any chance of beating Kansas City, you have to put basically over 30 points on the board to win this game. The teams know it when they play Kansas City, so we often see teams chasing points against Kansas City, going for the 2-point conversion, going for it on 4th down. Kansas City puts up near an average of 30 points a game in the Mahomes era. If you want to beat Kansas City, we're probably going to have a game with over 60 points in general. The Baltimore Raiders game went for 60 points. Without OT, they went for 54 points. Baltimore's offense will be better and put up more points on the board in this upcoming week by the simple fact that their new running backs will be even a larger focal point of their system. Lamar will not fumble the ball 3 times again. Baltimore had 27 points on Monday against the Raiders and averaged over 29 points a game last season. I am taking the over on 55 points, and I think you should too. The next game is the Arizona Cardinals versus the Minnesota Vikings. The spread favors the Cardinals at 3.5 at minus 110 odds. That's down from 4.5 earlier this week. Based on what I saw from the Cardinals and the Vikings last week, and even last season, I will take the Cardinals to cover the spread here. They have an explosive offense that can put points up on the board in an extreme fashion. What they did to the Titans last week was embarrassing for the Titans. They also have a fantastic defense. We saw Chandler Jones get 5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles in his first game back. J.J. Watt making timely stops at the goal line. This team is going to be really good. I think they're going to give the Vikings a lot of trouble. I say that Arizona wins by a touchdown or more. My next one is going to be Rams versus the Colts. The Rams are favored at minus 3.5 and minus 110 odds to beat the Colts, down from 4 earlier this week. I like this line, and I like this line when it was 4. Watching Stafford and the Rams in that offense last week against the Bears makes me confident that they can carve up the Colts. More importantly, the Colts look like a team that's going to come on slowly based off their game against Seattle in week 1, but all the pieces are there for them to have success later on in the season. but it's going to take them a bit to put it together. I'm willing to take the Rams after that impressive showing in week 1 with the points. The last game I have for you all is the Chargers versus the Cowboys. And I'm taking the over at 55 as well at minus 110 odds. Basically, I'm taking the over for every Dallas game this season, for the rest of the season. Dallas is going to win a decent number of games this year, but they're going to be in even more close games, especially with Dak Prescott. And the one thing we know that Dak can do is put up monster numbers and monster points. And that defense is still going to give up a lot of big plays and make some mistakes. Apparently, the Dallas D has allowed 35.1 points per game in Dak's last 6 starts. That means the Cowboys only have to score 20 to beat the odds here and hit the over on 55. And Dallas played all those games close, which means they're going to score more than 20. It's going to be a thriller. I'm going to take the over. The Cowboys will always put a lot of points on the board, and this is one of my safest bets of the week right here. Cowboys versus the Chargers.